Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice even now are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgression, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace is upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on today. Yes, you all, it is Thursday, Friday Eve, if you want to call it that, September the 15th in the year 2022. And I'm so glad that every last one of you have decided to join me on this morning. It's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. Now, let's get this party crack-a-lacking. Let's get this party started. It's just beautiful to be here with you, and I'm glad that all of you are here. We're going to go over and see about the Lions Den VIP section. Yes, the folks that brought all the peace, joy, love, and happiness to make sure there was plenty of it here for you when you arrived. I'm so glad for them. And let's just give them some love on this morning and their just rewards. They're just desserts, Rebel. Yes, Miss Fabulous, thank you for coming in this morning. So much love to you. Head usher reporting for duty. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Get those usher boards ready. Now, all the way from the UK, Den Darn came in this morning. I appreciate you, my beautiful sister. Good morning to you. You're bringing the roar. You're bringing prayers. You're anchoring us down. Hugs, royalty, hearts, love, all of that. Thank you so much, Den Darn. Right back to you, my sister. Y'all were early in there this morning. Now, the three that got in here first, however, the third one in the Lions Den this morning was none other than Tall Pumps. Come on in here, sis. You did that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let me get your gorgeous face up here so the people can see you. Give me just a hot second there. I'm moving kind of slow. I'm like Uncle Joe. I'm just moving kind of slow. And there she is, beloved. Tall Pumps once more. And again, thank you so much, sis. Come on in here and sit down right over there on the love seat. Make yourself comfy, cozy right over there. Have yourself a chair. And the second person in the Lions Den this morning was none other than Truck driver. Truck driver, you did that. Yes, James Sims. That's his name. That's the Mufasa. Thank you for coming on in. That's the Lion King. Tell Pumps to scooch over a little bit. Tell her to scooch over a little bit and let you sit down. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Kim Possible. Kim Possible, you are the queen of the week, girl. You have all week long said, this is my throne. This is my habitation. This is where I belong. Lord, lift us up where we belong. Congratulations, Kim Possible 7-Eleven. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Nothing but love to you, sis. Nothing but love to you. And thank you for coming in. You are not playing with that 12 o'clock. I'm just here to say everybody's following hot on your heels, but you got that 12 o'clock thing. You got that thing timed down to the second, child. Lord Jesus. But I appreciate you for bringing the love, the joy, the peace, and the happiness into the Lions Den. Now, you know how we do it. Go ahead and get your mod love out. Get that mod love out, because I got these three beautiful ladies. Yes, they take such good care of us here in the Lions Den. Shelly Thunder, that's my girl. Yes, the prophetess. She comes in and I tell you, she blesses the house. Now y'all go out there and vote for her. The awards are going on. She's in a category by herself, individually, I guess I should say. Please go out and vote for Shelly Thunder. She's doing a marvelous job, not only in this channel, but in other channels as well. Please go vote for her in the awards. Then we got the leader of the pack. Yes, there she is, y'all. The Rebel Inc. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways. Please go out there and follow her. She's going to bless your whole life. That's my Ace Boon Kuma, day one. And she takes such good care of us here. And then, of course, the Blessed Trinity is brought up with Michelle Brownell, who's feeling a little sweepy this morning. She feeling just a little sweepy. She got to go in and do some work, but her little eyes are tired. She's tired red.
Please pray her strength in the Lord. I appreciate these three beautiful ladies. That's my quiet storm. She changes the atmosphere just by being in it. I appreciate all of them for what they do and what they bring to the Lion's Den. Appreciate y'all so much. Now, coming on down. Somebody told me, I think Shelly Thunder got a birthday coming up here pretty soon, and we're going to do something special for that too. She's a little Tyred. That's it. Not your average guy. Just a little Tyred. That's what she is. Now, come on, y'all. Get your coffee cups out. Because we got a little chit chat that we're going to have this morning. But before we do that, as my mother said, when you walk into the room, speak to somebody. So we're going to speak to the saints this morning. Is that all right? The Rebel Inc., I see you. Thank you for coming in. You were bright and early this morning. The Galactic Supervisor. She was followed right on her tails by Not Your Average Guy. I see you, sir. Good morning to you and mad love coming your way. Then SK8843 came in saying, good morning, Lions, and good morning to you, SK8843. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in the Lions Den. We're so glad to have you this morning. Then Tall Pumps was pumping tall. Good to see you this morning. Come on, and she is the moderator once more and again for Woman Unsilenced. I want you to please go out there and follow Woman Unsilenced and give her your full support. I'm going to have her in this stream soon and very soon. Just keep your eyes peeled and your ears open. We plan on having her right here in the Lion's Den. A.M. Harvey, you must have came in, Miss Harvey, while my studio was down. We done already had a quick crash this morning. I thank those of you that were here that held on till we got back. I said, Lord Jesus, my studio side piece done shown up this morning. I don't know if it's a studio that's jacking around or the Twitch, but whatever the case may be, we're back. But A.M. Harvey, I missed you this morning. I missed you when you came in. Good morning to you. Dr. Dady Priest, that's my girl. Yes, the high priestess is in the house, and if you are not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit your wicked ways. Go on out there right now and follow her, because I'm going to tell you what, engagement matters. So that's what I want you to do. Rebel, you said y'all couldn't even type in the chat. I hope we got everything back up. Oh my goodness. I tell you, already on a thankful Thursday that it wants to clown. Michelle Browno, that's my quiet storm. And as I said, she's here, but she's a little sweepy. So please do pray her strength in the Lord. She got to make it through corporate meetings today. And baby, if that doesn't try your patience, I don't know what will. Fairly All Day is in the room. That's my dearest friend. Blessed morning to you, my friend. So much love coming your way. That's my girl. She is the moderator for Dr. Dady Priest and Engagement Matters. I'm telling you, I'm thankful for the support from Engagement Matters. Those beautiful ladies, including Double Spirit, who may not be here right now. I call her my double portion. These beautiful angels come in and support other streams all across the platform. Appreciate you, ladies. We absolutely positively do. The best of the best. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and seeing anybody that came in the basement while I was upstairs, because we did a quick one this morning. We surely did. Cassandra Woke 2022 was in the building. So much love coming to you, and we're going to roar righteously. That's the only way we know how to roar in the Lion's Den. We're going to roar righteously. We're going to tell it like a T-I-Z-T-is. No cream, no sugar. We take that coffee strong and black. Stacy 546, that's my sister, and so much mad love coming to you. Thank you for being in the Lion's Den this morning, and nothing but love for you, sis. Nothing but love for you. Coming on down, and I'm looking, and Vanessa Dorsey is in the room. Come on in here, sis. We call her BB. Come on, BB. It's good to see you this morning, all the way from the Arkansas. Nothing but mad love coming to you. Good morning and welcome to the Lion's Den. You know, you done made me smile this morning, sis. You have made me smile. Coming on down. BTD Mom, I see you. Come on in the room, and so much mad love coming to you. Come on, and I love you. So much love coming out to you today. Looking and booking and seeing if anybody else came in the Lion's Den this morning, because I don't want to miss not a one of you, because you're all so beautiful. Just absolute beautiful people. Y'all beautiful people, I'm just trying to tell you. And as I look, I think we've come to the end of everybody that's in my chat. I also like to acknowledge for those of you that are here but do not want to come in and chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence, and there's no problem with you lurking in the lion's den. You're here, and we feel your energy in the midst, and that's really all that matters. Thank you for being here and sharing this time with us. We have mad love for you as well. Now, let's go ahead, get those coffee cups out, get those coffee cups out, get those coffee cups out, and we're going to talk about what had happened was while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Come through, come through. Wow, so I see that boss energy. Come on here, BTD mom. Y'all come on with that. I'm looking and I see your coffee cup, Stacy 546. I see you. Listen, what did you say, Cassandra? We are coming against the hibernation spirit that makes us want to sleep and slobber. Okay, Cassandra. Rebel said, you better bind it. Please bind it for Michelle, because she's in corporate meetings this morning. We don't want her slobbered in front of the VPs and carrying on, y'all. Pull it together. Pull it together. I see your coffee cup, Stacy 546. I see your coffee cup, BTD mom. I see your coffee cups, Dr. Dady Priest. I see the high priestess. Cassandra, come on with that coffee cup. I see you, the rebel. Yeah, get a little bit of that Java. Get some morning brew. Get a fresh brew and see if you can't get your eyes just a little bit wider. Get them open, get them open. Top pumps, I see your coffee cups. Not your average guy, your pillow says you slobbered. Did you leave a little crustaceans on there? Your pillow said, your pillow testified he slobbered last night. Come on in here, Rebel Inc. I see your coffee cup. I see your coffee cups. Y'all got me going. I love you. I love you for it. I really, really do. Listen, if you didn't know, now you know. Let's start with the little morning brew. We dodged a bullet. I didn't even know that was out there. Michelle Brown, I see your coffee cups. Drink a whole lot of coffee. See if you can stay awake. But then you're going to have to go to the bathroom if you're like me, because that bladder starts to matter. Now, I look out here and I see we dodged a bullet last night while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. The White House reached a deal with the railroad because they were about to strike. Did y'all know they were about to strike? I didn't know they were about to strike. Well, if you didn't know, now you know. And they're saying this morning that they've reached a deal such that where they were getting ready to walk out and say, we're done with this church. I'm tired of this church. I remember that little boy said that. I'm tired of this church and we about to walk. I understand we dodged that bullet and they came up with a contract that was agreeable to them. Now, I had one of my part-time jobs. I'm one of those men. I could kill a part-time job. I had part-time jobs everywhere, and I done a little everything. You said it was messy, Dr. Dady Priest. It was messy. Kudos to the rail workers. Come through. At the end of the day, this is what I did learn. While we really don't acknowledge the rail for what it does in this country, be it understood that the railway system is so critically important to this country because they move the bulk and the majority of our goods. Thank God for the truckers that are out there. Appreciate y'all, truck driver, all the other folks like truck driver out there that are doing their thing. But listen, if y'all didn't know, if you didn't know, now you know. I just want you to know the rail system moves more than anybody in this country in the way of goods and services. Man, I didn't know till I saw those grain trains. If you've never seen a grain train, man. If you've never seen the syrup trains, and if when I tell you them little bottles of syrup that y'all buy, if you saw how they transport that stuff in the country, massive, just absolutely massive. I worked in where I had to go into the IFG area, which is for the Intercontinental, where they would get all the cans and move the cans, I'm telling you, the whole system is so intricately put together. It is absolutely astonishing. And all you need is one little issue where they're not moving goods and everybody's going to know it. Everybody's going to know it. A lot of our goods are shipped, not your average guy, by train. And I really did not realize that until I had that little job where, you know, they have very strict regulations. And so I love to drive. And I had a part-time where I would just go and pick up the rail workers wherever they were, because it didn't matter. When their time was up by federal regulation, they had to stop that train. They couldn't go another further. They couldn't do another thing. You had to rest them and bring another group out there to them. So I did that for some season. And man, number one, you never know how much rail is out there until you get a job like that. Now it's so funny. Since I've had that job, I noticed all the stations. I noticed all the different rails. I noticed the boxes that identify what company it is that's running that particular area of rail, where you can drop crews at. Is it BN? Is it what was I driving? I'm trying to remember who. Kansas City Southern. I mean, all of them out there, man. It's amazing. And you start paying attention to all of that. And prior to that, drive up and down the highway, hither, thither, and yon never paid it any attention. The amount of rail is just unbelievable in this country, but they do a lot. They do a lot. Now, you heard that Amtrak is about to strike. You don't know if that is part of the railway system. I think it may be a different branch of the same, but I definitely, with regards to the moving of goods, moving people and moving goods, two different systems there. And I don't know if they're connected in that way, as far as were they included in the rail system here. If somebody knows and has better information than I do, chime right in. But at the end of the day, you live in a railway city. Come on, Dr. Dady Priest. Same with you, not your average guy. Then you all know how much. And I was in Kansas City, which was a railway city as well, especially in their heyday of the stockyards and all of that. And let me say this, if you don't know the history, man, before rail, everything was by river. So I pastored a little country town called White Cloud, Kansas. And there was a time, believe it if you will, when White Cloud, Kansas was bigger than Kansas City and the major towns down here. And what made the difference? White Cloud was on the river. And at that time, if you were on the river system, you were booming, because that's how goods on those barges. And I can remember as a little girl still seeing those huge, massive barges going up and down the riverway on the Missouri River, the Big Momo, as we called it. And what had happened was, some kind of way, the politics and the things that went down ended up where St. Joe and Kansas City they thought they were going to run the rails right there along the system, on the side of the river, and White Cloud and all of those little river towns would have still been huge, but they bypassed them with the railroad. And once the railroad came in, St. Joe, Kansas City, stockyards just took over everything, and all those little towns on the riverway just died off, because everybody went where the jobs were and where the money was. But that's how powerful rail was. That's how powerful rail continues to be, because baby, when everybody else can't go, those rails are running. You better believe me. Neither rain or shine or sleet nor hail is gonna stop those rails from traveling the rail, those trains from traveling the rail. Those babies move. So, you know, I'm telling you, they are very critically important to us here, even though you don't know it for a lot of you. But man, train ain't no joke. The train is necessary, Cassandra wrote. Thankful that we dodged that bullet. Big wheels keep, come on. Pride and Mary, keep on. Come on with that. We rolling. And at the end of the day, I'm appreciative for whatever was needed to make that happen. But then they weren't the only ones, beloved. So we dodged the bullet with the rail, and I'm understanding at this point in time right now we have the same scenarios where folks are just walking off their jobs. A healthcare strike where Minnesota has 15,000 nurses that walked off the job yesterday. 15,000 Minnesota nurses walked off the job. So I guess folks are saying, listen, either y'all gonna pay us the money and give us, now nurses, especially after that pandemic, I don't know what their contracts say, but all I can say for the nurses, get your coins, Cause listen, at the end of the day, we talk about the essential workers and what those nurses have been through. I'm just trying to say, after the pandemic, get your coins. Get your coins. Get your coins for the ones that are good. Now, mind you, there's some folk out there that I've encountered that I'm like, child, you don't even need to be in nursing. But for the good nurses that are out there, get your coins. Because listen, when you got to report in, regardless, and I'm looking at 15,000 nurses in Minnesota walk off the job. That ain't no small thing either. So I just don't know. The drug lords also use railways, Dr. Dady. Several years ago, we had to evacuate the school for a bomb that was actually drugs. Dr. Dady, they said, listen, it's one of the most reliable ways to get your shipment there. I'm just trying to tell you, it's one of the most reliable ways to get your stuff where you want it to be. So at the end of the day, listen, and that train ain't stopping for nothing, not your cows. For you all that didn't know, the front of that train where the engine is, that front of the train that's made in that little V at the bottom, that's so it can mow you down. I don't care if it's a deer, I don't care if it's a cow, I don't care if it's a car. When that train comes, and if you understand the power of the train and how much weight is on that train don't care nothing about you, baby. It will mow you down and keep right on going, keep right on rolling. So, it's a reliable transportation. It doesn't matter. Y'all can be out here in the snow and the sleet, scared to drive. That train is rolling on those rails. You understand the words that I'm saying? So Decatur is also a river city. Come on with that, Dr. Dady Priest. I'm telling you what, they deserve whatever they want. Come on in here. Blessed morning. Come on. One reason. I call him the Archbishop. He's been elevated. The Archbishop of Triz. He's really not here. Of Twitch. He's really not here, but he's here, y'all. That's my invisible bishop. That's my invisible Archbishop. So much mad love coming to you. So listen, come on. Diablo is gonna show up everywhere. He don't care anyone with his dastardly self. Come on with that. Come on with that. So at the end of the day, 15,000 y'all. Nurses, I would hate to be ill and need attention in the state of Minnesota right now. That, y'all, is that's really something. So strikes are popping up potentially everywhere, and I'm assuming this is contract negotiation season, and the Saints are saying in whatever area they are in, we ain't having it. So there you have it. Again, that's major. 15,000 nurses walk off the job. That ain't no joke right there. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. There's my These a Day friend. Come on in here, sis. And it's good to have you on this morning. Good to see you. So there you have it. We've got issues going on in the labor market, and so we dodged one bullet. Honey, that strike's being felt. You better ask somebody in Minnesota. They gonna feel that. They gonna feel all of that. You can rest assured they gonna feel that, because 15,000 is not a small number. And Minnesota, man, I'm just pray for the sick and the shut in, because honey, they gonna need prayers of faith and deliverance, because the nurses are not there. And if the truth be told, I love the doctors, appreciate you, but it's really those nurses that prop these institutions up in medicine. Many times the doctor is clueless as to what's going on, but those nurses have their finger on the pulse of that patient. They have the relationship with that patient. They know really what's indeed ailing the patient. And I think, at this point, sometimes I trust the nurses more than I trust the doctors. And that's just me. But I've seen some doctors that come in and look clueless, and nurses be like, bam, bam. Now right here, I'm gonna chime in on Michelle Brownell. Michelle Brownell is doing her thing. She's getting all of her degrees and whatever she needs behind her name. But even without the degrees and whatnot behind her name, she has to be one of the best nurses. She's anointed to nurse. That's all I can say about Michelle Brownell. She's anointed to nurse. This child can diagnose your situation. You hear what I'm saying? This child can diagnose, honey, can just listen to a few things and this sister will come back and I'll be like, bam, she's on it. And I done been to the doctor and the doctor's clueless. Call Michelle Brownell. Michelle, this, that, and the other. Drew, you rebel, you know I'm not lying. Yes, she is. Baby, I'm here to tell you that child is an anointed nursing. I'm telling you. And those are the kinds of people I wish that we could see more of, because then I've had those that are absolutely positively clueless. And it's like, why are you here? Why are you here? You're in the wrong occupation. So we need more. We need more. Yeah, come on, not your average guy. Let's get some of that Ukraine money that we send and let's go ahead and take care of these people, these employees that we have right here. Your mother did her ER nursing for 30 years. Come on, people are definitely called to be nurses. It's a calling, not your average guy. For the good ones, it is a calling, and I'm gonna agree with you on that. Mother is the real deal, Rebel. You know I'm not lying. Mother is the real deal. And so I want to see Michelle Brownell go as far as she absolutely positively can. And I feel like when you have nurses that know their skill and know their craft and they're anointed, like not your average guy said about his mother, you got folks that are anointed like Michelle Brownell. I ain't talking about what I heard. I'm talking about what I know. Honey, because she done diagnosed me on many occasions and hit the nail on the head the first time. Be like, bam, bam, bam. She's anointed for that. I want to see her make the coins that she needs to get compensated for what she brings to the table. Yes, I'm talking about my quiet storm. I'm talking about my moderator. Yes, Michelle Brownell. That's who I'm talking about right now. Because listen, I'm going to give her props. I'm going to give her all her props because the girl is bad. The girl is bad. So, she's just going to get that paper just to reinforce what she already has in skill and ability. That's an after the fact. Because she is a natural. Those are the types of people that I want to see. But then as they're in here doing their jobs, are they being compensated appropriately? Because listen, they have to deal with some stuff. And so, in the midst of being skilled, being anointed, being the best in the field, I'm talking about creme de la creme. She is. I want to know that she's going to be paid accordingly for what she brings to the table, and all of these others as well. So let's pray. Work all your jellies, Michelle. Work all your jellies and elevate your work divinely. That's what I'm talking about, Cassandra. That's what I'm talking about. And when I tell you she's good, she's beyond good. That's an understatement. If you listen to the conversation between doctors and nurses, the nurses are the ones telling them what's happening with the patient. And you're absolutely correct, Dr. Dady. And that's why I said in many, many instances, I trust the nurses over the doctors. And in actuality, I know when I was dealing with my mother, particularly as her caretaker, that it was always, as a matter of fact, the one doctor, when I moved her from him, the nurse practitioner is the one that was treating my mom because we never saw him, and at the end of the day, she had her finger on the pulse, but that doctor was Pitt. So that is many times what you see happening, where the nurses are actually telling the doctors A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and the doctor is clueless, and the doctor just comes in and regurgitates and repeat what the nursing staff has told him. So they need to be compensated. They definitely need to be compensated. I see your tall pumps. That's a fact, especially with the nurse practitioners. They are running things. Tall pumps. They are running things without a doubt. It's the nurse does most of the leg work, and that is a fact. Exactly. Not your average guy. And I'm sure your mother, after 30 years in the ER, can attest to that. So listen, let's give them their just rewards and their just desserts. I'm 15,000 deep walking off the job. That should say something. They're trying to tell us something. They're trying to tell us something, and we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention. We need to pay attention. So that was in the news this morning because the strikers and the missing of the bullet with the railroad workers, they're out there and it's happening and it's going on. So let's, and I'm gonna go back to what not your average guy addressed just very briefly. We're sending money every place else. We need to take care of our own workers. We need to take care of our own labor force. And instead of making them have to pretty near strike to get the accommodations that they need to be treated fairly, just give them the money. Just give them the money. You're shipping the money all these other places that have absolutely positively nothing to do with us. Pay your workforce. How about that? Can we do that? Pay your bills. Pay your bills. Because if they bring in substitute nurses, it's going to be a whole mess. And so, tall pumps, what's Minnesota going to do for nurses? 15,000 walked off. 15,000 nurses walked off the job yesterday. What are they going to do for nurses? And listen, I know those doctors are sweating bullets because some of them are like, I'm clueless. And that nurse has been telling me everything from A to Z because I really don't know what I'm in here doing. I'm sure enough practicing medicine. I'm really practicing medicine more than I should be. Even places that I should know some things, I'm still practicing medicine because I'm clueless. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that. I just don't know what's going to happen with that. But that's serious. Start threatening their licenses. I see you, Michelle Brownell. Come on with that, girl. And I don't know. Listen, I just want to appreciate you because I don't know. You might have been indisposed at the time, but come on. I'm gonna go ahead and do it because listen. When I talk about how good Michelle Brownell is at her job, I think while we talking about everybody else, this is for Michelle Brownell. This is for Michelle Brownell in the Lion's Den because the girl is bad. The girl is bad. I'm telling you. I want to stop and give her an ovation right there. She's good. She's gooder than good. She's gooder than good. That's for Michelle. Come on, kiss your brain. Kiss your brain. Kiss your brain. Love it. So, folks in Minnesota better transfer their loved ones now. I hear you. You're most welcome, Michelle, because I'm telling nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. God knows I'm telling the truth about you. How many of us pay the neighbor's bills before we take care of our own? And there you have it, not your average guy. As one preacher said at the church that I went to, y'all excuse me, I cut the grass and I think I'm allergic to something. And it's working with me. So we've been battling for a couple of days here. So my apologies. But listen, how many folks pay their bills? And as a preacher from my church said, charity begins at home, then spread abroad. They don't spread abroad, then come back home. That'll go with me for the rest. I heard that when I was a little girl, and that man was not the swiftest. He was just as sweet as he could be, but he wasn't the brightest bulb in the pack, but he was just as sweet as he could be. And he stood up and he said to the peoples, listen, charity begins at home, then spread abroad. It doesn't spread abroad, then come back home. I've been clapping for him ever since. I've been clapping for him ever since because I said to myself, he ain't as slow as y'all thought he was. So listen, I'm with you, not your average guy. Charity begins at home, then spreads abroad. It doesn't spread abroad, then come back home. And so we need to pay attention to that and pay our people accordingly. Houston, the land of the free and the home of the brave, had a whole lot of explaining to do. Can you help them explain it to me, Lucy? Explain it to me. And it's dastardly. Take all these steets and stop taking our money. And there you have it. You better talk Cassandra Woke because it's our money. I'm going to keep stressing that whenever we get to this top. It's our money. It's our money. It's not our money to pump and funnel to all these agendas that you have here, there, and abroad. It's our money. Take care of the people that it's our money. It's our money. Take care of us with our own money. Would you please? That's all we're asking. Now, as we are moving on and talking about what's going on whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Now, I'm going to tell you what, in case you didn't know, I just want you to know, as we slumbered, slept, slept and slobbered out there in these other countries, I just want you to be aware that Russia and China have now joined forces and say they are now conducting joint patrols out in the South Pacific. Now, so Putin and Xi have now come together, and I just don't know what to say, y'all. I just don't know what to say. I'm not impressed. These two powers together, I just don't think it's going to be a good situation. Now, I'm looking at how things are lining up and who's lining up with whom. Come on, not your average guy. Pay attention. Pay attention. Who's lining up with whom? And so now I'm also understanding that China is coming in to help Russia while they stutter and while they sputter with Ukraine, because we know Ukraine got some stuff back from Russia. And so now, and see, this is something I want us to pay attention to. Disco Darren is in the room. Groove morning to you, my brother. Come on in here, and so much love to you. Yes, Disco Darren is one of the nominees, as well as Dr. Dady Priest, that are out there in the Twitch awards that are going on. It's good to see you, my brother. Come on in here. Mad love to you. Now, y'all pay attention how these folks are making allegiances and alliances with one another. This alliance between China and Russia, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just not feeling it, because at the end of the day, Xi and Putin together, no. So at this point, they're saying that they are meeting together. Putin and Xi are meeting on the sidelines of Shanghai, and they're talking about their cohorts together, their cooperative that they're doing together. And so they're going to be out here in the South Pacific, and jointly they're doing a duty together, and jointly they're talking about coming into Ukraine to deal with issues there. Now, America is going to feel that, not your average guy. We're going to feel that. I'm here to tell you, we're going to feel that without a doubt. So, you know, at the end of the day, I just don't know. Here we go, Rebel. I see you're talking to us, Disco Darren. I just want to touch on that just to make you aware. And again, as I said, pay attention. Russia and China sitting in a tree trying to destroy everything they see. Cassandra, I think you said it right there, dear. I think you said it. Russia and China sitting in a tree trying to destroy everything they see. And at the end of the day, if the truth be told, you know, I feel like 45 wanted to have his name in this number. 45 wants to have his name in this number. 45 wants to say Putin, Xi, Trump. He wants that kind of power. He wants that kind of participation in this boys club. And it's definitely a boys club. These ain't men. These are boys. He wants to have a part in this boys club. I see you, BTD mom. And so at the end of the day, you know, this authoritarian mindset that wants to control everybody, I'm just like, you know, at the end of the day, these are power hungry mongrels that are out here trying to take over the world. And so, Scratch Wolf, good morning to you, fam. Come on in here. So good to see you. So good to see you. So at the end of the day, you know, the idea and the reality that these authoritarians have come together and are uniting forces, especially when it seemed like Putin and the Russians started losing ground in the war against Ukraine. Understand they're always floating these backdoor deals. So, you know, I'm these backdoor deals. I got you on the Putin, BTD mom. I got you on the Putin. I was with you. Now, so yes, the big fart. I made the connection. So at the end of the day, you know, I feel like when we see the desire for 45 to have a resurgence, for 45 to try to have a comeback, he wants to play on this kind of world stage. Where, you know, they got carrot slinging contests, you know, baby carrot slinging contests. That's all it is. Baby carrots. They want to sling those baby carrots and see who's got the biggest baby carrot. So he definitely wants to be on that stage. He wants to be in that number. And thank God that he currently is not. But that scenario right there, this baby carrot slinging contest that we got going on, everybody's trying to show they little whatever they got. So, and that's my opinion right there, y'all. That's my opinion. There's nothing new. These people have been destroying the world everywhere they go since the beginning of time. And you are absolutely correct, Disco Darren, which is why, you know, even let me come here, you know, and I'm gonna pivot real quickly to this, which is why I've read since the Queen's demise. And I know some people still are like too soon, but you're talking about people's desire and want to be free. 45 is an entitled, lackluster, dusty son. I see you, Dr. Dady. He is definitely a dusty son. He's an orange, dusty son with baby carrots. So at the end of the day, even his carrot is orange. So there you have. He's just matching all the way around. This is the thing that so many are angry about that have been colonized, because I believe it might have been Dr. Dady that sent me, yes, Dr. Dady, you know what I'm saying. You know, orange dust. He's an orange apparition with a little baby carrot. So at the end of the day, and he's a dusty son, as Dr. Dady calls him, he's a dusty son. He's a dusty orange son. So at the end of the day, so many people are upset because even as we talk about the Queen, and yet and still there are many that remember when she was not so kind to their countries that were colonized. That's reality, people. And so when these individuals are upset and saying we are not going to, as a matter of fact, somebody said, I would rather honor my freedom fighters and celebrate them more than the crown, because the crown was not kind to us. It is what it is. So, and it's interesting to watch how, and I look at the dynamics when I'm reading through the different stories. I saw a conversation on yesterday and someone was like, oh, but the safest place is to be under the crown. If the crown wasn't out here killing folks and battling for other people's territory, you'd be safe too. Just, what are you saying to me? What are you saying to me? What does that mean? What does that mean? The safest place is to remain with the crown for all these colonized people that want to leave. I'm like, what crazy person says that? An entitled person? A free person, a person that doesn't have to deal with being under someone else's thumb and rule. I thought that was just the craziest thing I'd ever heard. That's the safest place to be, under the crown, under the rule of the crown. So, at the end of the day, I just looked at that and I read it and I kept on going. There is a battle right now that's going on where India is saying, we want our crown jewel back. That jewel that y'all love to show that's sitting on top of the coffin, we want the jewel back. It was ours and you stole it. And you have England that is insisting they didn't steal it. Well, you went over there and it belonged to somebody else and you took it and you put it in your crown. I think that's stealing. I think that's stealing. But anyway, by someone else's measure, maybe it's not. I don't know. But at the end of the day, that's some crazy stuff. They want their stuff back. And I think, even again, the idea of reparations and restoring people's stuff, it sounds like theft to me, not your average guy. It sounds like theft to me. It didn't belong to me. I came where you were. I took it back to my house. Not only did I take it back to my house, I put it in my hat and my crown, and then I put it out here on display for y'all to see. I didn't steal it and then hide it. I stole it and then put it in my crown jewels. What are we her. What are we doing? That's theft. That's thievery. So at the end of the day, they stole it, then bragged about it by putting it in the head to that Scratch Wolf. That's all I can say. And it's, listen, I hear you.
Shame.
It's shameful.
Shame.
At the end of the day, it's shameful. Teresa Jones, good morning to you. There's my 411 Connect. Charles ain't giving nothing back. Absolutely. He's going to pout the same way he pouted over that pen, the same way he was mad about his desk. He's not giving not near a thing back. But then you're going to flaunt it by stealing it and then putting it in your crown jewels so you can sashay around with it on your head. There's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to deal with. Come on, Rebel, Lord have mercy. So at the end of the day, it's like you keep saying it's a different age. You keep saying it's a different time. You keep saying that we're transitioning into a more progressive state, but you won't give the folks their stuff back. Explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. You're saying we're in a better day, a better time. We're progressive and but you won't give the folks their stuff back. And United States, before y'all get on the bandwagon, y'all better think about your wicked ways, because you owe black folks some stuff too. I'm just saying, give us our stuff back. Give Africans their stuff back. Give every place that we done went and pillaged the people, pillaged their stuff. Give folks their stuff back. That's all I'm trying to say. Charles don't know his butt from a tall pumps. You think he's in early signs of dementia? He could be. I don't know. Because you know what? I will say, come on here, Scratch Wolf. We talking in here. I will say this, tall pumps. His behavior is showing, and it's definitely unseemingly to royalty. His behavior is showing that he definitely does not have the calm and the cool that his mother was able to display the majority of the time. He's just a few days in, y'all. He's just a few days in and he's already clowning. So I don't know how far he's gonna make it, because the brother just can't handle himself. But when it comes to, for sure, countries that are ready to leave, countries that are ready to be on their own, Chazzy Licious is cooking. There's my chef. There's my cook. Come on in here. If you're not following, Chazzy Licious is cooking, and I think she might be a nominee as well. This is my girl. Please go out there and vote for her. And if you're not following her channel, please do so. So much love to you, my sister. You know I love you. Come on in here, Chazzy. So good to see you. So, at the end of the day, all of this is going on, y'all, and I'm like, we're gonna see. The proof is in the pudding, because people and countries want to be free, and at the end of the day, only entitled people are out here running around talking about, but you're safer under the crown. I don't need safety if y'all ain't trying to kill me. You understand the words of, what are you talking about? That's crazy. That's insanity. So I shouldn't have to fight for my freedom. Just let me go. So thank you, Chazzy. You are nominated. Come on. And I'm so happy for you. Do your thing, girl. Do your thing. And everybody that would go out there and vote. Something is definitely wrong with him. The last picture with him on the throne, he had a very strange look on his face. Okay, Teresa, I'm listening to you and Tall Pumps, because y'all done diagnosed the situation. John Studios is in the building. Listen, I love this brother. Come on in here, angel of the house. Listen, John Studios is also a streamer. If you're not following him, please do so, because he blesses everybody everywhere. I just love this young man. Just so powerful. Do your thing, John, and welcome to the stream. So, at the end of the day, I'm like, there's a lot going on in this transition, and we're going to see just how all of this is going to shake out at the end. Now, yesterday, I'm trying to remember who sent this to me. They did send, and the story is still going around about how Meghan Markle went to shake some folks' hands. Let me see if this picture is going to load or not. And the people just snubbed her and refused to shake her hand. So, it is what it is, whatever. It doesn't want to load for me. Okay, so I'm gonna let that go. But if you want to see that story and that article, it is in my Discord. Just go out there under Slumbered, Slept, and Slobbered, and you can see it there. And thank you for sending that to me. Now, this I do want to touch on because this was sent to me by Dendarn, who is a inhabitant of the UK. And so this story right here, I do want to address and see where we going from here. There is a call for a redesign of the royal honor over offensive image. Now, there's a petition that's being signed about an image of Saint Michael standing on Satan. Now, y'all look at Satan. Look at Satan right there. Satan is a black man. Satan is a black man. Now that's what this depiction is what they're saying. So here we go. The petition of Saint Michael standing on Satan, who is a black man, is reminiscent of George Floyd killing, and they want that removed. Now, so the redesign, I'm telling you, while we're talking about so many things, now notice that Satan on the ground, and he's in chains too, you might notice as well. So of course he is. So if you notice, he's in chains. If you notice, yeah. And Dendarn, thank you for sending me that. So y'all talk to me now. Now, while we're talking about all of the things that need to change, it's things like this that are really going to challenge where is our heart in this day, in time, in this new millennia. Because at the end of the day, yes, at the time that this was designed, and does it tell me, I don't know what year it was actually crafted and made. And this is given, let me see, that the Order of St. Michael and St. George is traditionally awarded to ambassadors and diplomats and senior foreign office officials who have served abroad. Again, the Order of St. Michael and St. George is traditionally awarded to ambassadors and diplomats and senior foreign office officials who have traveled abroad. This is what's given to them. So are we at a point where we're ready, just like taking down Confederate statues and that kind of thing here in the United States? Are we really ready to move on to a different narrative that reflects something differently? Or do we want to keep saying that this white, and y'all look at that, honey, that angel ain't just white. That angel is lily white. You understand what I'm saying? That angel ain't just white. That angel is lily white. So we got this lily white angel standing on the devil who just happens to be black. Are we ready to end this kind of insanity? Are we ready to stop this type of imagery? Are we really ready to say, stop with the madness? So at the end of the day, good morning, the one and only Keisha Key. I call her my sunshine. Come on in here, sis. And so much love to you. Thank you for coming into Lion's Den. So at the end of the day, tall pumps, pay attention to these symbols. They are everywhere. The politicians put the KKK stuff on their stuff too. And that's facts. That's facts. Dr. Dady Priest sent me the picture, and I had seen it. But she sent me the picture of the person that was running for office, and they literally, if you paid attention to the graphic, had the KKK hooded. The hooded KKK. And it was just astounding. It was just absolutely, positively astounding. So at the end of the day, the imagery, we have to address that as well. We can't just talk about the stuff that is just overtly out there, but even this little hidden covert stuff that they're trying to throw a rock and hide their hand. And it's sending a message. It's a clarion call. It's a wake up call. It's an alarm to those that feed into that agenda. When they see those hooded folks, and listen, this candidate And Dr. Dady, you can, if you're able to type, you can address, I believe it was a school board candidate that was running that had the 3 hooded KKK people in it. So, you know, at the end of the day, that went viral. And y'all, listen, Disco Darren, clear white, the angel, now, y'all, that tells it all. That tells it all right there. That tells it all right there. And at the same time, you want to tell me the safest place to be is under the crown. Why is it safe for me to be under the crown when you show me a clear lily white individual standing over top of a black man that you're calling Satan? What other explanation do I need here? And you're giving this award and this emblem to people that have served. No. That imagery is telling me everything I need to know. Good morning, Shelly Thunder. Is this a one woman? This is a solo raid, y'all. Let me come out just for a second, because there she is. There she is, Miss America, Miss Moderator of the World. She's in the room. Hey. LaWanda Baskerville. Miracles, signs, and wonders is in the room, y'all. Miracles, signs, and wonders. WandaVision done rated us on this solo raid brought to us by LaWanda Baskerville, showing some love for the Lions Den, and the Lions Den got nothing but love for you, LaWanda Baskerville. She's a streamer, she's a moderator extraordinaire, and she's up for an award too, y'all. Go out there and vote for her. And we love you here in the Lions Den. Big Moochie, baby. Thank you for coming through, sis. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you for coming in. Mad love to you. So I want to come back to this. Y'all pay attention to the imagery, because imagery is everything. Imagery says so much, and they love to say you don't see what you see, but at the end of the day, when you look at that and when you see the angel of the Lord standing over this black man, calling him Satan, you don't need to tell me anything else. You don't need to say nothing else, because you told me everything I needed to see with my eyes. I love you, Den Darn. I love you right back. So, and thank you for sending that. I appreciate that. And so when we're talking about the monarchy and the time of change that is upon us, it's not just with those that have been colonized and those that have been subjugated to the crown. And then, as they're saying, many of the colonies are saying, Michael is pudgy. Good morning, Aunt Azalea. Come on in here. So much love to you. That's because Michael, listen, let me reel that back before I release that, because I was getting ready to say something that wasn't going to be real nice about, yeah. So at the end of the day, I see you, BTD mom. You done cracked me up. So from my experience in life, most white Americans have meant us no good. That picture depicts what's going on in the world. And you know, Darren, there are a lot of good white people out there. There are a lot of dastardly white people out there. You know, the thing that I addressed on yesterday as well was the reality of, for all of my good white brothers and sisters, and there are many out there, we need action. We need action that speaks louder than words, and not just the passive enjoyment of the privilege. You know, if it's wrong, it's wrong. Let's get this thing fixed. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Let's get this thing fixed. And we all need to work together, not just black people fighting for those that are marginalized, but everybody, including our good white. And I'm telling you, there's some good folks out there. I promise you. And so I think sometimes it gives that sense of you mean me no good from the standpoint of you're saying you see this as unjust, but you won't rise up and say anything. That makes you complicit. And I think sometimes our white brothers and sisters don't understand my being passive, my not saying anything makes me complicit with the behavior, even if you don't believe in it. You not standing up and saying we insist that there be changes, that makes you complicit. And on that side, if you're not doing anything, then you're not helping me. You're not helping us. You're not helping those that are being oppressed and taken advantage of. And that is the message that I constantly share with my good friends that are Caucasian, and they some good folks. And what's my main message that I'm always having with them when we have conversation? I need y'all to say something. You know, this conversation that we're having between us is beautiful. The tears that you're shedding of penance and sorry and all of that, that's all good. But I need you to say something. I need you to say something. I appreciate this. You know, I feel like Jesus and Nicodemus coming by night. I appreciate this phone call. I appreciate this text. I appreciate whatever measure you're reaching out to me, but I need you to say something. And that is where it tends to be the fading away, me asking them to say something, because to say something means that, I'm putting myself in jeopardy. And listen, not understanding my black skin is in jeopardy because I can't come out of my skin and fade into whiteness. And understanding, even though you want to say, oh, but I know because I came from immigrants. Yeah, but your white skin allows you to blend in and have that privilege. I don't care that you did come from an immigrant background. You came to this country and now you blended in, because every European here, y'all wasn't born here, but you feel like it's your country and nobody else belongs here. So at the end of the day, you're getting a lot of privilege. You're getting a lot of mileage out of your white skin. So I need you to say something. I can't look at you and hear an accent that comes from your land of immigration. I can't hear that in your accent. When I look at you, and when they look at you, all they see is white. So don't come at me with the immigrant thing if you're not going to open your mouth and say something for people that cannot take black. And I'm not ashamed of my black. I don't want to take my black off, but just understand the blackness of my skin automatically puts me in a whole different category and a whole different method of how I am treated. So this is real talk. This is real talk. And these are conversations we have to keep having. And we have to keep having. We have to keep having. If you, as my friend, when the lynching of George Floyd happened, man, my phone was ringing off the hook. My phone was ringing from people in government, in very high authorities. My phone was ringing from people in academia, from very high levels, universities and colleges. My phone was ringing, and I can just tell you, my phone was ringing. Doctors and attorneys, my phone was ringing, and everybody calling, and everybody. And the $64,000 question, what can we do? What can we do? We don't believe in this, and I feel so badly, and da-da-da-da-da. I need y'all to say something. That's what I need. I need y'all to say something. I know you're good people, but I need you good people to come together and say something, and that's where it gets difficult. The speaking up and the opening of the mouth to say something. So, that's my take on that. Subliminal messaging used to taint minds and influence outcomes. Dr. Dady, you said it all right there. And I appreciate allyship to action. I need you to be allies in action, not just lip service, not just bumping your gums. I need you to be an ally in action. Absolutely. So listen, come on, Scratch Wolf. We white people have to speak up. And I agree with that. I agree. And it's not a white, black when you come from that angle. It's a matter of understanding we're all humanity. All of us represent humanity, and we all have to speak up for one another. But particularly in this area of racism, in this area of privilege, in this area of how we see the difference between black skin being handled and white skin being handled, we need white people to speak up and do something. So Tall Pumps, you said the classic statement, all you should have did was comply, sat down, and now I'm gonna tell you what, Tall Pumps, people that come out with all they needed to do was comply, those are covert racists. Those are covert racists, in my opinion. Because listen, you and Yes You O Cube, one-on-one, just me and you. You know how we take this coffee. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black. When I hear people come out there with the comply statement, I say, undercover. It's an undercover, because that says to me right off the bat, you are completely alienated from the black experience, and that is the whiteness and the privilege of whiteness and the blindness of racist whiteness that comes out with that comply statement. So I don't even think twice when I hear folk come out with that whole comply statement. I'll be like, undercover is an undercover. There's one right there, because you cannot understand the black experience remotely and come out with the comply statement. So that's it for me. I don't need to hear nothing else. They all need an subliminal pulls upside the head. Rebels, Rough Riders done come up in the lion's den today, y'all. They done come up in the lion's den today. I'm telling y'all, case in point, your mother's friend is a doctor. About 4 months, a patient told the white doctor, I don't want that black woman operating on me. Get me someone else. This woman is a doctor, but this woman didn't care. Hey, Disco Darren, you ain't lying. That's real stuff, and that's real stuff that goes on in 2022. And this is the thing that absolutely takes me out. And folks don't want to, folks don't really want to come here. But many of those techniques that the white doctors are using, they went to the black communities and the black medicine workers and got those techniques. And then if we come up to Mr. Drew came up with a whole system, heart surgery, transplant, what else? Blood transfusion, black folk, and then wouldn't give it to black folk on something that we created. Don't get me started. So there's a whole lot, and I'm gonna even go with the medicine between the indigenous people and knowing how to do the herbs, and the Africans that they brought over here from Africa, knowing how to do the herbs, the berries and the twigs and the bark and the trees and everything. Baby, I'm just here to tell you, so much of what we call so-called medicine was stolen straight from people of color, whether it was black, indigenous, or otherwise, that somebody just really needs to sit down and shut up. But at the end of the day, could not be treated by some of the very things. And I don't know, it kind of takes us back to, maybe we should have just kept right on treating our own people in our neighborhood. But then, of course, you get into the issue. Are you licensed to practice? And you can only get licensed. I'm going to tell you what. And y'all can like me or nah, but licensing against black people has been such an effective tool to keep us from doing what we know and what we do. So come on, remember Henrietta Lacks, and that DNA is still working today. Is working overtime, and the family still ain't been compensated. You don't want me to preach. You got to get licensed to preach. And this is straight up stuff. I appreciated Dr. Dady Priest in Engagement Matters when she covered this. And black people still don't understand this, all a part of that same trap. You got to be licensed to preach. And we still run around getting licensed to preach. Maybe that was part of the means of keeping black people out of doing the things within our community. Do you have a license? You had to be licensed to practice medicine. You came over and learned our ways. You came over and learned our medicine, then turned around and said we couldn't practice on each other as we had been doing all down through the years because we didn't have a license for that. I just want y'all to wake up. So much of this has been continuously propagated against us, and through all of these dastardly means that we just, come on. So, at the end of the day, I could say so much on that, Disco Darren, and that's very sad that you have somebody that is licensed to practice and probably can do exceedingly abundantly above her counterparts, but the skin is the wrong color for some folk. Main Man 68, come on in the room, my brother. There he is. That's my guy. I love you so much. Welcome to the Lion's Den. So just understand, this has always been a challenge that we have, where now those individuals that practiced, those individuals that were herbalists, those individuals that were naturalists, those individuals that were treating black folk in the community. Now you got a licensing situation and you can no longer do that after you came and stole our knowledge and our information. Then you got to turn around and tell me I need a license to do what we've been doing all this time. Miss me with that. So they fear the unknown of what if. They just need to do it. Come on with that, den darn. I'm coming on down. I'm Azalea. I see you talking. I see y'all talking out here. So at the end of the day, you know, we just have to really address a lot of this. Man, y'all going upside folks' heads got me dying. They learned this in the police academy. I feared for my life. That's the way they justify killing us. And you're absolutely right about that, Disco Darren. And if you fear for your life that badly, you're in the wrong profession. Remember Henrietta, come on down. I got you. I'm looking. Dr. Sebi was allegedly killed by the government and Big Pharma for teaching people how to heal cancer naturally. Yeah, Dr. Dady, Dr. Sebi, there's a whole lot of conversation around that scenario. And at the end of the day, man, I could go on a whole tangent on that too. You believe they killed him as well. I see you, den darn. There's a whole lot of us that feel like something was rotten in Denmark. So, you know, we gotta be able to understand the tactics that are being used. I see you, Shelly Thunder. God licensed you already when he called you to preach. That's man's mandate power trip to keep their foot on the lion's neck. You better preach. I told you, listen, I'm going to give her a thunderclap for that because, honey, she said a whole word right there. And the thing that still ceases, it never ceases to amaze me. Black people have not, for whatever reason, caught on to that because it's a moneymaker. I gotta say, well, you know, I'm not even gonna go down that street. It's a moneymaker. It's a control factor. So at the end of the day, all of this that we go through that has its is derived directly from slavery, and we just keep on propagating it and pushing it on like this is the way. This is the way. This is the way we preach out here. You know, it's like, no. I reject that. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I just want to bring that to our attention. We have been practicing medicine in our communities. A lot of those, you know, my mother would tell you, you know, what her mother used, how she, and the kids were not sick. How about that? The kids did not get sick. They weren't coming up with all of these maladies and illnesses, but they had those home remedies, as they were called, and those home remedies worked. So at the end of the day, we traded that off for modern medicine. And now some of the medicine they give us is giving us so many side effects. The side effects are killing us. So it is what it is. Yeah, honey, Shelly Thunder came with that truth, baby. She came with that truth. They don't see her as a doctor. They see her as a black woman. They could care less about the doctor in front of her name. And I'm sure even in med school, she had to perform above and beyond in her craft, both from the fact that she's female and black. That's two strikes right there, all in one. So, you know, sometimes people just don't get it. And we're roaring righteously in here. We're roaring righteously in here, Cassandra. There must be some strong medicine for COVID because and these folks not even wearing a mask because they got the money. Listen, I could go down a rabbit hole on COVID, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But I feel a whole lot of things about that because you have to pay for a piece of paper and the fee to apply for that piece of paper. Shelly Thunder, it's a money maker. Believe me when I say it, it's a money maker. And churches and denominations are not gonna let it go either because they're making money off of it. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real and tell what God loves, and that's the truth. So at the end of the day, yeah, I just, yeah. Now, this one right here, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna deal with some of the stuff that y'all sent me. This one right here, I'm gonna just touch on this. Now, before I go there, I need some levity. I need a little humor in here. If y'all didn't see where the nursing home is in trouble because they brought in a stripper. And she's giving that old man in a wheelchair a lap dance. Man, I'm gonna read what you said before I get on to this. There was a time when we as black folk didn't get sicknesses that we're seeing nowadays, when we were just using them home remedies. I'm trying to tell you, we were using them home remedies, them herbs and spices, and taking care of ourselves. It wasn't until we were convinced that we needed the doctors that we started getting more these alphabet diseases. And I agree with you 100% right there, main man. I agree with you 100%. So at the end of the day, it's not the money. They're probably carriers of some sort of virus. So we need to go back to our herbs and fight their nastiness. Come on. Now, I agree with all of that. I had to address those before I move on to this. Come on, let me. Oh no, I sure don't want Michael Lindell. Lord Jesus, that surely ain't where I'm trying to go. But at the end of the day, y'all, that lap dance that they gave those folk. Now, who? Tell me who. Tell me who thought this was a good idea. When I tell you, I saw that and I cracked. Let me run it one more time real quick. I saw this is in a nursing home and you see somebody's hands clapping. Oh my God. This is a nursing home, y'all. This is a nursing home. I just want to say that is all kinds of wrong right there. Not your average guy. You said you think it's a great idea. Oh my God. I saw that and I was just done. John Studios. Listen, all the brethren in here saying amen. Hey, Scratch Wolf said, you hope they got a good male stripper for the ladies. Truck driver said he bet they slept well. Them folks came alive. BTD mom. Not your average guy. You gonna suggest it on a regular. A young lady you know is a physical therapist at the nursing home in Memphis. She said she had the residents counted and voted to have a beer. Y'all, I'm done. We have come into 2022 nursing home care. So listen, everybody that has had Tall Pumps classes on the poll, listen, I'm going to give y'all a poll call for the nursing home, because the nursing home, this is what we get ready to have for nursing home ministry. Nursing home ministry. Everybody that has taken Tall Pumps classes, get your pole, get your muscles, get your outfit together. This is the new nursing home ministry. This story called for a poll call, not your average guy. This story right here called for a poll call. I could not believe that, y'all. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe that. I just could not believe that. I read that story and I laid down. I said, now, so Raw Confessions came out of lurk for that. Tall Pumps, you better work your jelly. I see you down there. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you that right there. But the nursing home did come back and apologize to the residents and the residents' family. Because I guess there was a huge outcry. Come on, Sassy, slide and glide. You can't hide from this ride. Your name just keeps getting longer and longer, Sassy Cassie. You can't hide from this ride. Oh, that story right there, I just had to have a little levity in there, y'all. I just had to have a little levity in there. Because these, I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff up. You just cannot make this stuff up. Now, this one right here was where I was going. But before I went there, I just absolutely had to get some levity in. Because this doctor right here, I want y'all to remember his face. I want you to remember this face right here, y'all. While we're there, this Texas congressman is a doctor. Representative Michael Burgess in Texas, where else but Texas? He says this is proof that we need an abortion ban. Now, y'all stay with me on this one. Stay with me on this one. You said check my blood pressure. Okay, let me check my blood pressure. Let me check my blood. Let me get it out. Before I start this story, because this story right here is truly foolishness. Yes, Chazzy-licious. Here we go. Let me get my blood pressure checked while I tell this story. Let me just go ahead and hook myself up to the pressure. See if I got pressure before This man said, you can see baby boys grabbing their genitalia while they're in the womb. And this is masturbating. So if fetuses are masturbating, it shows that they feel pleasure. If they feel pleasure, they also feel pain, which means that we cannot abort them, because if they can masturbate and feel pleasure, then they can also feel pain, and that abortions must be banned. You heard it. You heard it right here. You heard it right here. You heard it right here. And yes, you O cubed. One-on-one, just me and you. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-tis. Good morning, Uncle Diddy. Come on in here and thank you for the resub, my brother. He is a streamer. He is a phenomenal streamer out there. He handles grown man business. If you're not following Uncle Diddy, please follow him. He'll bless your whole life. Thank you for coming in. Now this one, y'all. This one. Psalmist 4, come on in here, sis. So much love to you. So much love to you. Come on in here. I appreciate you. Cassandra, well, shut my mouth. I want y'all to get a good look at this nut. And no pun intended. There was really no pun intended. Look at this nut. Now, at the end of the day, want you all, as we listen to these insane, inane stories that these jokers are coming out with, and they have no shame, they have no sense of, any story they can tell, any story they can conjure up, any story that they can put out there, any narrative. And I'm sitting and I'm looking at the people that vote for these nuts. Are you kidding? And again, no pun intended here. But these folks are crazy, K2 Hoops. Good morning to you. Come on in here. So, I'm looking and I'm saying, why, oh, why? Why, oh, why, and how, oh, how do these folks get voted into office? These folks are crazy. So, and listen. I'm telling you, it's astounding to me. It's absolutely positively astounding to me that we have individuals out here that believe this mess. And they listened to Royal Confessions his mother should have swallowed. Hide your kids from this humanoid idiot. This is insanity. These jokers are crazy. And now please understand, I am, at the end of the day, I am all for everybody has a right to choose what you do with your body. It has nothing to do with my particular position. You choose what you do for you and yours, but don't tell me and don't tell somebody else what to do with theirs. Everybody has a right to do what they choose to do in their own respective situations. We're talking about the right, whether or not you think a situation, what they're doing is wrong. The person's right to do it is their right. So at the end of the day, all of this insanity. Now the question is, of all the ways that pic could have been interpreted, he chooses masturbation. Absolutely, because he got a dirty mind. That speaks to his mindset. How is it he's in a position to make legal decisions? And that's it right there, because the folks that come up with this stuff, they tell on themselves. Listen to what people say out of their mouths. They will tell you. You can tell he got a dirty mind because the first thing he thought of when he saw the picture was masturbation. That's because you nasty. That's because you're dirty. That's because that's where your mind is, and you want to come out here and make these judgmental decisions like you're a saint on somebody else's lives when you already done showed us you got a dirty mind in the gutter because you see this picture and the first thing you see is masturbation with your nasty self. With your nasty self. So at the end of the day, according to him, she should have done it. Listen, you tall pumps, y'all. Listen, I look at these stories and I'm like, no, ma'am, no, sir. And at the end of the day, listen to what these people are saying, because they're telling you exactly where they're coming from in their evil, wicked minds, because the wickedness of your mind creates this scenario. The wickedness of your heart creates this scenario. And then you want to try to legislate it against the people. That's what he used during poll call, BTD mom. I'm just saying. And then let's not get into the pedophile ring that half of these nasty folks are entangled in. Oh, don't get me started. Pedophiles, and you see a picture of a baby in utero and you see masturbation. You're nasty. And you want to tell somebody what to do with their body with your nasty self. And if they pregnant, they probably impregnated by your nasty peen. Ooh, I'm telling y'all, this kind of stuff just takes me out. It just takes me out. And his mindset starts before the child has even come out of the womb. Come on. And I bet he's a pedophile too. I can't say he is, but I wouldn't be surprised. Can I put it like that? Can I word it like that? I wouldn't be surprised. Look at that smile. Okay, let me quit. So at the end of the day, whatever. And I'm sure he's a good deacon at somebody's church. So there you have it. Someone needs to come get him along with those other 160 folks arrested for human trafficking. Oh, and we not even, listen, let me get that story in. This one is, this is one for the books. Because at the end of the day, while you're talking about human trafficking, and this story, I'm trying to remember who sent this to me. It might have been truck driver. I can't remember. But listen, okay, so I want y'all to catch a hold of this. This is a victim of human trafficking, y'all. This is a victim of human trafficking. And let me make sure y'all can hear what she's saying before I cue it up. Now, this speaks to how this dastardly system of these folks that got these pedophile tendencies. These folks, I see you're not your average guy, got these pedophile tendencies and want to come out here and act like saints to pass this legislation as if they just can't stand the idea. And I already told y'all the whole kit and caboodle. When you got this replacement theory going on with these crazy racist white men, they don't want not near a white baby to be lost. And so again, understanding that the highest percentage of abortion is white women, they obviously want to ban because they're so caught up in this replacement theory mess that they can't see past losing not near one a baby. So at the end of the day, then when we get to the whole concept of these sex trafficking rings that a lot of these individuals are tied up in, and a lot of these individuals in government, a lot of these individuals in high ranking positions are caught up in this sex trafficking ring stuff. Y'all pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. Now here we have this sister right here, and this story is just absolutely incredulous. Here we go.
I wish the events that took place on June 1st, 2020 never occurred, but to say there's only one victim to this story is absurd.
Piper Lewis was just 15 when she admits she killed a man she says raped her. Now at 17, a judge has decided her fate. This afternoon, a Polk County judge sentenced Lewis to 5 years probation and a deferred judgment.
KCCI's Bo Bowman in courtroom for that sentencing and tells us what comes next, Bo, in this complicated case.
Well, the deferred judgment means that this will be expunged from Lewis's record, but during her 5 years of probation, Lewis will have to stay at Fresh Start Women's Center here in Des Moines. Lewis was originally charged in 2020 for first-degree murder after stabbing 37-year-old Zachary Brooks in Des Moines. Lewis said she was a victim of human trafficking and said Brooks raped her several times before she killed him.
I wish the events that took place on June 1st, 2020 never occurred, but to say there's only one victim to this story is absurd.
Piper Lewis was just 15 when she admits she killed a man she says raped her. Now at 17, a judge has decided her fate. This afternoon, a Polk County judge sentenced Lewis to 5 years probation and a deferred judgment.
KCCI's Bo Bowman in courtroom for that sentencing and tells us what comes next, Bo, in this complicated case.
Well, the deferred judgment means that this will be expunged from Lewis's record, but during her 5 years of probation, Lewis will have to stay at Fresh Start Women's Center here in Des Moines. Lewis was originally charged in 2020 for first-degree murder after stabbing 37-year-old Zachary Brooks in Des Moines. Lewis said she was a victim of human trafficking and said Brooks raped her several times before she killed him.
I wish the events that took place.
Okay, so let me come out of there and let's close this conversation for today. Let me shut this down.
Jeff Bezos
On June 1st, 2020 never occurred.
Okay, just a second.
But to say there's only one victim to this.
lands a professor for wishing Queen Elizabeth
tell you
an
what,
excruciating death.
Shut up, sir.
I'm glad
Shut this
Professor
down, just a second.
Uju.
Now, if y'all got the fullness of what just happened there, this child was a victim of human trafficking. After being, and let me say this, because even right now, for those that don't think human trafficking is still going on, somebody else sent me, I don't think I'm gonna run out of time, a 12-year-old that they're currently searching for. A lady went to her school. They saw her being forcibly put in, taken by the arm, forced into a vehicle, drove off. They did find the vehicle abandoned someplace else, and neither the girl, the woman, they're looking for this child, trying to recover her, and So this is going on a regular basis where kids are being snatched up by folk and used in the human trafficking circles. So here we have this young lady who was a victim of human trafficking, who had been raped multiple times by the individual that she eventually killed. And there was no resistance, no nothing, acknowledgement, turn myself in. Hey, this is what happened. I'm not running from the popo, none of that. But this is why I killed him, and this is what's going on. So at the end of the day, I'm at a loss for words too, Tall Pumps. It's just absolutely, yes, Disco Darren, she must pay restitution to the rapist's family. She must pay restitution to the rapist's family. Now, this is how the judge is saying he has to, because it was done in the state of Iowa. in the state of Iowa because she went ahead. It wasn't no big drawn out nothing. The girl said, yes, I killed him. And this is why I killed him. I'm a victim of sex trafficking. He snatched me up. He was raping me. When I got an opportunity, I killed him. I killed the man. Let me tell you exactly what happened. I'm not running. I'm not fleeing. I'm telling you, this is what happened. So the judge, in his infinite wisdom, says by the laws of the state of Iowa, there's certain things that he had to mandate because that's what the law stipulates. Now, if that be the case, let's just first and foremost deal with the fact that law obviously needs to be changed. It's obsolete and it needs to be changed. Obviously, that law needs to be changed. But here we see how the laws are used, and the laws can be complicit with this whole scenario of sex trafficking that's going on, because here you have, for sex traffickers, not only are they getting sex, but they're also making money from the children that they're trafficking. Okay. So not only are we dealing with the element of this man that had raped her numerous times, but whatever money he would have made from her being trafficked to whoever he was going to traffic her to, we now see loss of income, I guess, to his family. So the family gets paid $150K. How is this child supposed to come up with $150,000 to pay to this man's daggum family? Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It's like this system and this convoluted mindset. Oh, it's sickening, y'all. I see y'all. It's sickening. This is sickening. Now, what they did, they want to say in her favor, once she does her 5 years in that women's facility, once she does that 5 years in the women's facility, her record will be expunged. Whoop-dee-doo. Whoop-dee-doo. Once she does her time, because of the circumstances, her record will be expunged. Y'all. Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And this is the law of Iowa. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? This is the law in Iowa that the judge said he had to impose as he was called on by the laws of the state of Iowa. He did the absolute bare minimum that he could do for this child in this situation. Now, if that ain't some convoluted, crazy insanity right there. So when we start, come on here. I see y'all talking. After 400 years of slavery, how about that, Disco Darren? How about that? Now, I haven't read all of y'all's statements because I'm still, listen. Uncle Diddy, his family needs to pay her for all that she's gone through. What are we doing? What are we doing? We basically, that law that we just observed is going to give them at least $150,000 worth of what he would have probably made off of her passing her around to all his 10 friends or whomever he's passing her around to and making money. I'm going to say this once more and again. Do you all understand the money that is involved with sex trafficking these young teenage girls? Y'all recognize Jeffrey Epstein was able to buy a whole island and fly everybody and they mama, Prince Andrew, come on here, Bill Clinton, come on here, let the list go on. You were able to fly everybody and they mama over here to an island that you paid for from sex trafficking money. I just want you to understand how big this is. And I want you to see the extent of the people that are involved in this dastardly mess. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I want you all to see the extent of this dastardly ring that has been put in motion, law set up to cover these folk, such that when the man that should have been obliterated by the law, this man should have been under the jail, they take the victim and tell her, after you do these 5 years, we are going to require, in addition to that, that you pay this man's family $150 grand. Child, this is just dastardly. This is just dastardly. So listen, come on, you're stuck on the why. So she's paying the family as a thank you to the rapist who abused and trafficked her. You still fuming? Then darn, this is a whole load of mess. K2 Hoops, it ain't nothing but the devil. Dr. Dady, there should not even be a record unless it's reflected the horrible atrocities that this child has endured. She's a teenage black female. They don't care, Dr. Dady. They don't care. And I'm not just going to bring it up black, because white females are being trafficked too. And they're getting these white young tenders, and they out here doing everything damnable under the sun, passing them all around and doing everything they want to do to these, and these nasty, low down, dirty people. Ooh, I'm telling you, that story right there. They would have had to fire me off the bench, because there ain't no way you would have made that judgment. And I hear you. Passing it around to their friends. That's why it's so prevalent, not your average guy. That's why it's so prevalent. These people are making money, not just the sexual pleasures. They're making money off of these deviants. These are deviants. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? These are deviants. I'm telling you, these are deviants. Lord have mercy. No one can't tell me the skin was a few shades lighter, this wouldn't happen. I'm going to tell you what, then darn, I don't know, because there are a lot of white females that have been sex trafficked. And I think at this stage, definitely, I would say the black female, they really don't care about her. But there is a level of misogyny, not just racism, that goes along with these crimes. There's a level of misogyny that also accompanies these crimes, then darn. There's some kind of hatred these jokers have for females. It's some kind of hatred these jokers have for females. To be able to live with yourself after doing this kind of dastardly stuff. And then you want to turn around and tell her she doesn't have the right to have an abortion from your nasty baby she's been impregnated with that she didn't want to have. We still ain't seen the flight logs, not your average guy. We still haven't seen the flight logs, and Gazelle ain't talking, or whatever her name is. I call her Gazelle. Ooh, the bare minimum should have been, we're even, you're free, have a good life, young lady. Come through, Disco Darren. I'm just trying to tell you. So here we have, I want y'all to understand, and Psalmist, I don't know if she's appealing this or not. Does she have the money, the funds, the resources, the knowledge? She's a young black female out there enduring and trying to survive. You understand? She's a young black woman out here trying to survive. She's a kid. Let me digress and call it what it is. She's a kid. She's a black child out here that's been sex trafficked, killed her offender, and now she's being abused, raped, and abused egregiously by the system. Ooh. Oh, Lord Jesus. You know, traffickers don't look at skin color, but if it was a victim of a much lighter shade, the judge would have been reading something different. I hear you. And maybe, but I think, again, I'm going to say, I feel like there's an element of misogyny that doesn't care what color you are. This is what they do. And anything to stay clear. Come on, Disco Darren. You would have even hearing of white victims suing someone. How is it not ruled self-defense, Psalmist 4? Listen. All kinds of self-defense. Ooh, I'm just telling y'all. And where's her family? Psalmist 4. And I will say this. For some of our young girls out there in the streets, some of our runaways, this is what happens very commonly. You ran away from home because you couldn't stand it there. But once you get out there in them streets and you've become disconnected and disassociated from your folks, I mean, this is real talk and this is real stuff that happens, y'all. This is real. This is reality on steroids. And even that whole element of being out on the street and trying to make a new family from the people on the street. I'm telling you, I see this all the time. Then Psalmist 4, I see it all the time. They're trying to make new families for themselves in the streets. And a lot of times the streets are giving them up for the sex traffickers. I'm telling you, we got work to do. When I'm talking about it's time for us to manifest, it's time for us to come together and start doing some things, we've got work to do. And these atrocious laws that are on the books, they need to go. And I'm going to cry at that level because I don't care what we do for her as an individual. As we come together collectively to help this one individual, until we get these laws changed and get these laws off the books, we're going to be in this same scenario. It is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So, you know, this is what we got going on, y'all. This has been the fantasy of many white men, is to have sex with a black woman. You've witnessed it. You've seen it. You've heard it during your years of playing professional football across the border. They're obsessed with beautiful black women's bodies. Oh, y'all. And it's 9 o'clock, so I got to get out of here. But somebody sent me a video of a rich man who's basically telling these young black women he wants to pay them for their eggs because black women are so beautiful and so nicely built and so nicely shaped. He wants to take those eggs and have them fertilized so he can have nicer looking babies. I tell y'all, and you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. I don't have that one queued up today, and I'm trying to remember who sent that. If you're in my chat and you sent it to me, Dr. Dady, were you the one that sent me that? This rich man with his money got a table full of black women sitting down, and he's offering them money for their eggs because black women's bodies are so beautiful. He wanted to buy their eggs, and that's a real story. I ain't making this stuff up. I'm telling what God loves. It's the truth. I just don't have that video queued up right now. But listen, I'm trying to tell you, the Psalmist, you said you were approached by your friend's dad at their holiday party and were singing at high schoolers. And he said, I reminded him of Oprah and he liked that. No, he didn't. No, he didn't, Psalmist. But I believe it. I believe every word. I want us to be aware, and many times this is what, if nothing else, in the lion's den, if I don't do anything else but make you aware of what's happening out here in these streets, because I think some of us are disassociated, disconnected, unaware in a realm where we don't understand the plight and the dilemma of what some of our people are going through, I want you to know what's happening to us. I want you to know what's happening to us collectively, because at the end of the day, if one is subjected to this, all of us are subjected to this, because we are one and the same. And the same way it could happen to this child, it can happen to your child. I want y'all to be clear on the facts. I want you to have good understanding. I want you to have clarity of vision, because this is the real world. So there you have it. I'm going to stop for today because I'm at my time window. But listen, I want to appreciate everybody that keeps sending me those newsworthy, noteworthy stories to share and to tell, because there's a lot going on in 2022. Now, my point is this: all this week, we've got reasons why we need to become unified. We've got reasons why we need to come together. We've got reasons why we need to be seen. We've got reasons why we need to speak up, show up. We've got reasons, you all. We can't just let this stuff fly by and act like, man, I feel so sorry for that child. No, we need to make sure it doesn't happen to the next child and the next child and the next child and the next child, because you're not going to tell me that child did not act in self-defense. Why did this even come up as a case? I'm just saying. Why did this even come up as a case? So we've got to protect our babies. We've got to protect the community, and we've got to start getting these laws off the books that harbor or work in favor of these people victimizing little kids. That's got to stop, y'all. It's got to stop. And this is why I'm waking up the lions. This is why the lions are roaring. This is why this Pride Alliance is relentless. Yes, we are relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Oh, I feel for my brother. Well, I feel for my brother, and I feel for my sister, and I definitely feel for these children that have been subjected to unjust laws in the system. Now listen, y'all, we got to show up, we got to show out, we got to speak up, we've got to speak out. Black, white, brown, red, yellow, we all have got to come together, and we've got to roar righteously. This has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. I want to invite you to follow me as we roar. Don't be afraid of the roar. As a matter of fact, as Dr. Dady said, run to the roar. You can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, and more. I'm out there, y'all. I'm out there. We don't have a spirit of intimidation. We don't have a spirit of fear. We have power. We have love. We have a sound mind. And as long as we're operating in love, listen, our mantra is, I am all powerful in love. You better ask somebody. And we plan to bring change to this world. And we're not just talking about change, but we plan to be the change that we want to see. I told you, this pride, Pride, this Pride Alliance is relentless. You're going to hear us roar. It's us, you, me, we all, because we're all working this thing together. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Pay attention. Now, I'm so glad for the den of activity, not the den of iniquity. We have had all kind of lion support from each of you here on today, and I appreciate you. To my moderators, the Rebel Inc., Shelly Thunder, Michelle Browno, you guys are the best in the world. I love you so much. To our subscribers and the resub, Uncle did it. Thank you, sir. Grown man business. You handled it today. Thank you for your support. And to the one woman woman raid, LaWanda Baskerville. Thank you so much for that one woman raid. Come on up in here. Big Moochie, baby. Now, you know how we do it. As my moderators always say, have an amazing day on purpose. And you know what I tell you to do? Do what you love and love what you do. And after all is said and done, copy that raid message. Peace for your journey.
Life is real, yeah. And if there's a heaven above, please start showing a brother real love. 'Cause I wanna go home. Oh, I feel for my brother. I miss you, man. Oh, I feel for my brother. You're my brother. I feel for my brother. Oh, no, no. Feel for my brother. I wanna go home. I feel for my brother. I won't forget you, no. I feel for my brother. I feel for my brother.